So, something very interesting surfaced on the internet today involving Star Wars The Force Awakens and Luke Skywalker. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, you guys may or may not remember this, but there was an original deleted scene that we will never ever see, at least for a very long time, that involved Rey in her flashback sequence, the Force-back vision as we saw, in, of course, I would say in the middle of the movie, when she goes into the basement of Maz Kanata's castle. And we actually had an original scene that was actually to be developed for Episode 7, where Rey would actually witness young Luke Skywalker fighting Darth Vader in the corridors of Cloud City from The Empire Strikes Back. Now, what's really interesting about all of this is today we actually got our very first look at young Luke Skywalker and what he would have actually looked like in The Force Awakens. Whether they were going to use a front view of him or a rear view, we're not quite sure about that. But what's really interesting about all of this, and by the way guys, if you want to go ahead and check out this image of young Luke Skywalker in The Force Awakens, please do go ahead and check it out below in the description and in the comments. I deeply do apologize. I'm just being very cautious by inserting this image into the video. But what's really interesting, this all originates from Adam Frazier and Bothan Spies. Very interesting indeed. So it states by Adam Frazier, Rey's Force vision in The Force Awakens originally included Luke and Vader's duel from The Empire Strikes Back. The scene was cut, but thanks to Reddit, we're finally getting our first look at what Empire Strikes Back Luke would have looked like in The Force Awakens, played by Robert Bolter. Wild stuff. So, what's really cool about this, and by the way, you can check this out on Geek Tyrant as well. All the links will be linked below in the description and in the comments section. So, Robert Bolter, I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he is a small-time actor. He's not really very well known, I would say. But very interesting here is that this lines up with what we heard before The Force Awakens actually hit theaters. I believe it was like maybe a year or so before the movie even released. We heard that a young Luke Skywalker would be in Episode 9. A young actor would be playing Luke once again. Now, this Robert Bolter guy, alright? By the way, if you guys go ahead and check out the image, you can see his face, you can see his hair, the uniform, everything of what he would have looked like in Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. You guys might laugh at it because from the front view it kind of looks like a mixture of Luke and Anakin Skywalker, so that leads me to believe that they were only going to do rear shots of this actor playing Luke kind of fighting Vader, not showing his actual face perhaps. But this is what young Luke would have looked like in The Force Awakens. It's a very interesting image for sure. And one thing about all of this is that this was eventually actually scrapped from The Force Awakens because they wanted to stick with just her hearing certain voices and seeing Luke Skywalker kneeling down against R2-D2 and watching his Jedi Temple burn. So with that being all done and said, alright, this would have been amazing, because we've been hearing about this for so long, and now we finally get our first look. This is never before seen stuff of Robert Bolter playing a young Luke Skywalker in Star Wars Episode 7. So what's interesting to me is, are they going to do something with him in Star Wars Episode 9? We've been hearing about young Luke quite possibly having a role in Episode 9. Now, of course, they could do that through de-aging technology on Mark Hamill. That's probably the best way to go. But as far as Luke Skywalker doing wild stuff, like doing a lot of action scenes and going up against other actors with lightsabers, if they really wanted to do that, they would definitely have to get a younger guy to portray the character of Luke. Now, with that being said, guys, I mean, what do you think about this image? What do you think about Robert Bolter as Luke? Look him up on Google Images, and you will see that some of the images on there, he deeply resembles Luke. He can honestly play a young Luke Skywalker in a series if he really wanted to. Even though I believe Sebastian would be a far better choice to do than him. But looking at all this, guys, let me know what you think about this, because the original flashback scene in The Force Awakens, I think would have been, I don't know, I think it would have been more epic having Rey actually look at the fight between both Luke and Vader, witnessing the battle between the two from The Empire Strikes Back. But anyways, guys, you know, when we're looking at it at The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, those two films, by the way, my favorite films in the original trilogy, the fact that elements of those movies will be a part of Star Wars Episode 9. We could very well be seeing something similar coming our way for the final installment of the Skywalker saga, such as an original idea that J.J. Abrams wanted to do, like this, with a young Luke Skywalker being portrayed by a younger actor, going up against Darth Vader himself, with Rey witnessing the battle between father and son. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think about the image below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah.